Hello, and this is Professor Pete just touching base with everybody as we have officially made it over the hump. And just want to clarify a few of the assignments that are due this week, discussions, etc. So if you take a look at the discussions for week 6, it's all talking about interviews. There's a few items you have to take care of first. One, reading this article. 2, doing the simulated interview. Once that's done, you'll be able to reflect, which is what it's asking you here. How you can kind of improve on the interview simulation you did, and what aspects of the interview you feel you weren't really prepared for, and how you can prepare for that. So make sure you're kind of covering all parts of the answers here. In the discussions, you've been doing a pretty good job so far on the most part. One thing just to look for is I usually ask a question of you when I respond to your initial post. Please take the time to respond to that question. Any other questions that your classmates ask, that'll keep the conversation going a little better throughout the most of the week. So nice job for the most part. A couple things to look for there in the discussions. As far as the assignments, as I mentioned, there are ebbs and flows in the assignments you'll be doing. And this week, it's most of the work's done for you already. So after the interview simulation, which you have to do for your discussion, you have a reflections final submission. This is basically combining your 3 theorist reflections. You've done the work already on those theorist reflections. They should have been in 3 separate documents. You want to just take those 3 and put them into one document. Title is a final submission, reflection submission. So just basically all your work putting into one document, not 3 separate ones. And you should have made corrections, unless you received 100 on an assignment, make corrections based on the comments I've made. So whatever comments I made, I usually ask a question like, where's this, or you're missing that. Add those items that you were missing and bold those new items, so I should be able to see the added new material in your final reflection. Where that's going is your e-portfolio. This PowerPoint and guide do a great job step by step taking you through where to click, what to do to get your e-portfolios up and running, and that is where that submission will go, and that's where I'll grade it. So just to recap on that, just most of that work is done for you, just putting all 3 theorist reflections into one document and then making the corrections based on my comments. Any questions on those? You don't understand a comment, email me please earlier than later, and I could give you clarification on those. And then all that work goes in your e-portfolio, and these 2 links here will get you the directions on how to set up your e-portfolio, which you'll be needing. So that's that. So most of that work is done there. So as far as your interview simulation goes, as far as that goes, I would look at a few interview questions online. You'll go and find a lot of options for different interview questions, so you have something to be thinking about, so you're not just thinking the seat of your pants, because this is a timed activity, 25 minutes. There's going to be 5 questions. So I would just pace yourself. If your first question take about 5 minutes. If you got only 1 minute gone and you think you're done with the answer, see if you can add anything else to the answer. So you should be pacing yourself. If you're 15 minutes in, still on the first one, and then you're taking too long for that answer. So it is time. I would say about 5 minutes per answer, just 5 questions, and look at a few options before you start. Just look at different interview questions, just so you have some kind of thought process of what your answer could be. Again, there's going to be a question that's going to come up that you weren't prepared for, just like in a regular interview, and just do your best as far as trying to answer that. But again, it is time, so just pace yourself is the bottom line for that. And then moving forward, again, we're over the hump here, folks. You guys have really made it this far. You're going to make it to the end. It's in sight. So as far as week 7 goes, you're really just kind of finalizing your cover letter and your resume. Again, things that are done already. So cover letter, finalizing that, resume, elevator speech, all work you've done already. It just has to be tweaked based on my comments. And those corrections should be done. If there's further corrections, those can be done and bolded as well. If you make corrections ready, that's fine. Okay. So again, most of that work's done for you. You just have to kind of make your final tweaks, and we're in the stretch run. So great job so far, folks. Always here to help if you need it. Please email me earlier than later, and I can help you with any clarification. And I'll see you at the finish line.